Good morning, folks. On this Sunday, we're going to do some Lions news and rumors. Keep you up to date what's going on for our Detroit Lions at this time. Be making another video as well. We're doing it 2 a days. Let's get this thing started right now. You want to subscribe to the channel. Why is that? Because we're bringing you Lions news and rumors every single day, and we got a good one for you today. We're going to go over the just update on the Marice Norris as just a quick update right there, and Dan Campbell. We're going to talk about offensive line got hurt. I thought it was kind of funny. We'll talk about that really quick. Lions, they signed a player, running back. We'll get into that. An Eagles-Lions trade idea that I think is dumb. Then we'll get into the Lions news on Tate Ratledge. Let's get it started right now. An article came out in CBS Sports and pretty much everywhere. If you just type it in, it's the Marice Norris thing for all of Detroit Lions news now. It's like every single article, as it should be, but this one was just explaining why they did what they did. If you don't understand why they shut the game down and they ended it with a quarter to go, I can't really talk to you because it's self-explanatory. Player got hurt. With that said, I love what both organizations did here. It is a positive. Marice Norris is stable. It's in good condition, and he's happy. That is good. All positive news there from his front, and I can't wait to continue to hear good news from him. Let's get into the next one here. Dan Campbell pulled Hendon Hooker out of the first half of the game. This is a big indication of who is going to be your backup quarterback, and in my opinion, it is not Hendon Hooker. He has lost the job, in my opinion, and I think that he is not going to be on the Lions roster before Week 1, when Week 1 starts. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think he's going to be the backup quarterback? Why for yes and for no? I'm going to tell you why I think he absolutely lost the job, and I don't know what happened, but he is definitely took a wrong turn. You could look in last year's preseason game and compare it to the preseason games here. He has lost confidence. He's skittish in the pocket. He's holding on to the ball. He looks completely lost out there. I don't know what in the world has happened. He wasn't skittish last year, but he is definitely this year. He lost confidence. He hasn't developed, and it's unfortunate. We all had high hopes for Hendon Hooker. Well, some of us did. You know, he was a player that he's a quarterback, right? Anytime you draft a quarterback, it's going to be split 50-50. In my opinion, I'm always wanting every player you get to be good, even if it's a player that I personally root for, and I was rooting for him, but he hasn't developed, and he's not helping the team out at this point. So there's nothing you can do. After 3 years of this, it has gotten worse, and the Lions need to have a backup quarterback that is solid to be able to come in when Jared Goff, for whatever reason, can't do it. We need to have someone solid. Now we can all debate if Kyle Allen's the guy, because I initially thought, no way. I thought he's just a clipboard holder, but then he did play a lot better this past week. He played with confidence. He played without being scared of throwing the ball. And that is sometimes the difference between a quarterback that can play good and play horrible. It's in their head. It's, for whatever reason, the lights are on, it's in their head. A player can't perform, and it's in his head. I don't know. So I do believe that Hendon Hooker will not be in the roster, and I was one of his biggest supporters. It sucks. It sucks for him. It sucks for the team because he invested a high draft pick, but it's the same thing with Broderick Martin, right? You invest a high draft pick in a player, and it doesn't work out. Now, I thought he did better in this last preseason game. I still don't think he makes the roster. I don't think we all should be mad at Brad Holmes when he takes a chance on a Giovanni Manu or a Broderick Martin or a Hendon Hooker or whoever. Why is that? Sometimes taking a risk is a good thing, especially with the ability to draft the way that Brad Holmes does. That's why I don't get too butthurt about it. Like, even if you look at this past draft, we had two players that are injured. Other than that, the draft, the players were looking good anyways. Other than that, the draft has been really solid. And he takes a risk sometimes on a player. This one was Isaac Tesla, right? And end up being really good. Tesla is looking really good. So sometimes players don't work out, okay? And it just is what it is. Now, if we were looking in past regimes and we're talking about Millen Hugh, it's different, right? There, all those. I mean, we're talking high draft picks didn't work out. All these draft picks didn't work out. It's like, my goodness. Ennis Rakestraw, he was a second-round pick. Same with Levi Onwuzurike, injury prone. Now, I guess we can say stay away from the injury-prone players, right? I think we all can agree with that. With that said, I still really like Brad Holmes. I like his draft. I like his ability to find talent in the rounds. Even if he goes away from the grain of players that I would draft, he knows better than me, and that is a fact. Grade Brad Holmes as a general manager right now in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade him as a GM. Let's go ahead and get into this one. This is a funny story, even though it's an injury. That's not funny, right? Detroit Lions offensive line suffers injury during a pregame warm-ups. I don't like injuries. The reason I said it's funny because it reminds me of me. That's the reason why I do this. You know how I threw my back out? I took a step. How I tore my meniscus? I turned. When I hurt myself, it's usually like putting pants on or underwear, and so I just think it's funny because that's like being an old man. You're getting older. He suffered his injury just during pregame warm-ups. That sounds like something that I would do. Now, hopefully he's good to go. Maybe he just pulled a muscle or threw a back out or something. We don't know the injury. But it just seems like it's funny because if you're an older person, if your body gives out of doing the dumbest things, it just seems exactly what life is about here. So him injuring himself, just pregame workups, just seems exactly like being an old man. Lions sign 5th UFL player in 3 weeks. He'll compete with Detroit. Lions sign running back Deon Jackson, previously of the Colts. You're signing a lot of UFL players. Let me talk to you about this player and what he's going to bring to the Lions preseason, because that's what he's going to bring. He's not going to make the 53-man roster. We have our running backs. We have 4 running backs: Sione Vaki, Craig Reynolds, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. He is going to compete for a practice squad. But I think it's going to be quite difficult right now because I do believe Sailors did pretty decent, right, if he's trying to make the practice squad here. But he's not going to make the roster, guys. It's not happening. Our running back room is stacked, and he's got to go against other running backs that are even trying to make the practice squad. This is to hold the fort down for 2 more preseason games. That's what this is about. Remember, we had some dinged up players. Sione Vaki's been dinged up. I think that even Small got dinged up in the game. So I could see a situation where it's just that. I don't even want to spend time really going through it because it's pointless. It really is pointless. So let me get on the next one here. Lions news: Tate Ratledge named Detroit's most pivotal rookie. I don't see how you can. I don't know how you can really argue with this. He is a starter on the offensive line, and I believe that the offensive line, I think we all do, that believe that the offense is going to start with the offensive line. You know, if this offensive line is really good, then this Lions offense is going to be really good, right? If Tate Ratledge comes in here and he holds that guard position down like it's nothing. Remember, we had Zeitler, and I do believe Mahogany is going to do good. This offense, just the continuity needs to occur, right? And the offensive line could be well. However, if they're struggling, if he struggles, if Tate Ratledge struggles, our whole offense is going to struggle, right? If our offensive line struggles, or if a player on the offensive line struggles, our whole offense is going to struggle. That's why I'm not even going to argue with this article talking about he could be the most pivotal rookie on this team, because he is at this point. You know, you can look at Tyleik Williams as a starter on this defensive line, but I do think the depth at defensive line right now is a little bit better. Aleem McNeil is going to come back a little bit earlier than expected, so I think that makes it a little bit easier for him. And if you look at the defensive line, it's been dominant. So, yeah, Tate Ratledge, in my opinion, is the most pivotal rookie. It's all with the offensive line. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And also, would you make this trade coming up? About to find out this trade that Heavy.com and other articles keep talking about. Sending Tim Patrick to the Philadelphia Eagles. Why would we do something like that? Lions get a conditional 6th-round pick. It escalates to a 5th-round pick. This is a terrible trade. We're going to send the Philadelphia Eagles a player that's good for our team. Yeah, he's not at the greatest camp right now. Who cares? He knows everything. You're going to send the Philadelphia Eagles, the team that just won the Super Bowl, and a team we got to face who is the number 1 competition for the Super Bowl this year. We're going to send them more talent? Hell no, we're not going to do that. Tim Patrick's got value, folks. He's got value. Yes, our wide receiver, Isaac Tesla, our rookie wide receiver, looks great. And what if there's an injury to St. Brown or one of our receivers? We need to have depth on that wide receiver position. I want to go into a game not worrying about something. We have things we got to worry about in this team. Why would you want to add another worry to it? That is ridiculous. And no, that's a terrible trade. We need Tim Patrick on this team. We don't need him to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. And you're going to be seeing trades like this a lot. I think it's ridiculous. We've every time trades come up, I come in here and I tell you it doesn't make sense. The Jameson Williams trade didn't make sense. I mean, we've talked about it. All these trades they've done in the offseason just doesn't make sense. Lions are trying to win a Super Bowl. Folks, give me your thoughts about this stuff in the comments. With that said, adios.